Hello, good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss disorders associated with derangements of acid base balance. So, the competency of the topic is describe the processes involved in maintenance of normal pH and the derangements associated with this. So, half portion of this competency we have already discussed in previous two lectures. Today we discuss about derangements associated with pH imbalance. Domain is no level and level is at know how. So regarding specific learning objectives of this session are at the end of session you should be able to answer classification of disorders associated with acid base imbalance. Then in these disorders which compensatory mechanisms occur to make the balance of acid base level. And lastly, from all disorders of acid base imbalance, we discuss metabolic acidosis in this session. Rest we will discuss in next topic. Regarding introduction of this session, acid base status of the body fluid is assessed by the measurement of mainly three parameters. One is plasma pH, then partial pressure of carbon dioxide and bicarbonate, because we have seen that in our body bicarbonate buffer system is the most important buffer system because they contains two components. One is bicarbonate as a numerator and carbonic acid in the denominator. This bicarbonate, it is regulated by the lung mechanism and this bicarbonate is uh, this bicarbonate level is maintained by kidney, while this PCO2, that is the H2CO3, is maintained by lung mechanism. So what is acidemia? When the normal blood pH is 7.35 to 7.45. Acidemia means when arterial blood pH is less than 7.535, that is increase in hydrogen ion concentration and decrease in blood pH less than 7.35. Alkalemia, in opposite to that, when blood pH is more than 7.45. Acidosis and alkalosis, these both are pathological conditions that can lead to acidemia or alkalemia. Which are the causes of acidosis and alkalosis? Acidosis, when it occurs, when there is a either increase in the level of acid in the body or by decrease in the base from the body, that leads to the acidosis. While alkalosis, opposite condition, that when there is a accumulation of excess alkali in the body or by loss of acid from the body, it will lead to the alkalosis. Acidosis leads to acidemia and alkalosis leads to alkalemia. How there is a maintenance of physiological pH occurs, that we have seen a detailed mechanism pH regulation in the last lecture. First mechanism by blood buffers, second defense mechanism by respiratory regulation, and third defense mechanism by renal mechanism. From that Main buffer system present in the extracellular fluid, that is in the plasma, is bicarbonate buffer, that is bicarbonate and carbonic acid. With the ratio of bicarbonate and carbonic acid, we have seen that at a normal physiological pH 7.4, ratio is 20:1. The concentration of this bicarbonate is regulated by kidney and it is known as metabolic component of the buffer system, while the concentration of this carbonic acid is regulated by lung with either increase excretion or increase retention of carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide bind with water and forms the carbonic acid. So this component, acid component, is regulated by lungs and basic component by kidney. So this is also PCO2 is also known as a respiratory component, that is bicarbonic acid. Now comes to classification of acid base disorders. Mainly acidosis and alkalosis are there. Again, acidosis is classified into two sub disorders. One is metabolic acidosis, second is respiratory acidosis. What happens in metabolic acidosis? When there is a primary decrease in the bicarbonate concentration. Look, how you can define metabolic or respiratory acidosis or alkalosis. Metabolic acidosis or metabolic alkalosis, they are defined by change in the level of metabolic component of bicarbonate buffer system. So here the metabolic component is the bicarbonate, while respiratory disorders, acidosis or alkalosis, they are defined by change in the level of respiratory component, that is carbonic acid or carbon dioxide partial pressure in the blood, their level, because they are the respiratory component. So you should remember this point. So metabolic acidosis, when it occurs, when there is a primary decrease in the bicarbonate concentration, it leads to the metabolic acidosis. Respiratory acidosis, here the respiratory lung maintains the level of carbon dioxide and carbonic acid. So acidosis means increase in the acid or loss in the bases. Here acid component is regulated by the lung. So primary increase in the carbon dioxide partial pressure or carbonic acid concentration, it leads to the respiratory acidosis. Alkalosis, same to the acidosis, again classified as metabolic alkalosis and respiratory alkalosis. Metabolic alkalosis, they are defined by change in metabolic product, that is bicarbonate, as it is alkalosis. So increase in the base, and it is defined by this bicarbonate concentration, their level is increase. So for a primary increase in the bicarbonate concentration leads to the metabolic alkalosis. Respiratory alkalosis, here respiratory component is carbonic acid or carbon dioxide partial pressure, as it is a acid and here the condition is alkalosis, so their level should be decrease. So primary decrease in partial pressure of carbon dioxide or carbonic acid concentration, it leads to the respiratory alkalosis. Now comes to the compensatory mechanism in acid base disorder. As there is a change in pH occurs, either less than 7.35 or more than 7.45, there is starting of compensation will start, means there are defense mechanism of the body, they will start to resist the change in the pH, either by the blood buffer or respiratory regulation or renal regulation. So how compensation occurs? Always primary disturbance means what happens first, there is a either excess of the base occurs or excess of the acid occurs or deficiency of base or acid occurs. This primary disturbance will be followed by secondary compensatory change in the counteracting variable in the same direction. It means if there is a primary change occurs in the bicarbonate, then how compensation occurs? Compensation occurs by alteration in the partial pressure of carbon dioxide and thus concentration of carbonic acid, or vice versa. Means if there is a primary alteration occurs in the partial pressure of carbon dioxide or carbonic acid, the compensatory mechanism start by change in the bicarbonate concentration. As an example, in case of metabolic acidosis, what happened in the primary disturbance? Bicarbonate concentration is decreased. This is a metabolic acidosis and this is a metabolic component is base. So their level is decreased as a primary disturbance. So what happened in their compensation? Which is the counteracting variable in the bicarbonate buffer? It is the carbonic acid, and this carbonic acid is maintained by partial pressure of carbon dioxide by lung. So as a compensation here, as this is the numerator, carbon bicarbonate is decreased, this pco2 is also start to decrease to maintain the ratio at 20 to 1, and thereby h2co3 concentration is also decreased. So you can see there, always in compensation, primary disturbance in the numerator or denominator is followed by change in the counteracting variable in the same direction. Here bicarbonate concentration is decreased, so pco2 and thereby h2co3 is also decreased. Okay, so this is a compensatory mechanism in acid base disorders. Now, according to the compensation, look, compensation when initially started, it may lead to the partially compensatory disorder. Once compensation is fully occurs, it will lead to the fully compensated disorder. According to the compensation, three types of the acid base disorder are there. Either it is a uncompensated, means there is a no compensation is started, or partially compensated and then fully compensated. What happens in uncompensated? As an example, here we are taking the example of metabolic acidosis. So in acidosis, pH is decreased due to increase in H plus. So decrease in the pH is there, and as it is a metabolic, these H plus are buffered by bicarbonate, so bicarbonate level is also decreased, so it is a metabolic acidosis. So this type of the picture if you found when you estimate by arterial blood gas analysis this pH, bicarbonate and pco2, and change in the level of pH, that is a decreased pH less than 7.35 and decrease bicarbonate, that is less than 22. Normal bicarbonate level is 22 to 26 or 28 millimole per liter. If it is decreased pH and bicarbonate, and here pco2 concentration is normal. What is the normal pco2 concentration? It is 35 to 45 millimeter of mercury. Here pH is disturbed, that is less, bicarbonate is less, but pco2 is normal, so h2co3 concentration is also normal. So here bicarbonate is less, so numerator in the salt acid ratio, numerator is less and denominator is unchanged, so the ratio 20 to 1 is changed, and as the numerator is decreased, the ratio is less than 20. So this type of the picture is known as uncompensatory. Now what happen in the partial compensation? As you all know that primary disturbance in the metabolic component, so there is a defense mechanism start in the as a secondary defense in the respiratory regulation. Here, as there is a numerator, that is bicarbonate is decreased, so how compensation occurs? That is decrease in the denominator also. Denominator is carbonic acid and their level is maintained by level of partial pressure of carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide initially is the normal, but when there is a compensation start, there is a hyperventilation in the lung occurs. So what happen in the hyperventilation? More and more carbon dioxide is excreted out through the expiration in the lung. So to maintain the ratio that initially less than 20, the bicarbonate concentration is already decreased. This PCO2 start to decrease and it will try to maintain the ratio again towards the 20. That is the main aim of the compensation. So here what is the picture occurs if you take the blood for the arterial blood gas analysis at this time. Here already decrease in the pH is there, bicarbonate concentration is already decreased, and here only composition is starting in the starting phase. So bicarbonate concentration, carbonic acid concentration is also going to decrease. Still pH is not normal and ratio is still less than 20. Now what happen in the fully compensation? Once there is a final defense regulation occurs, that is by the kidney will do excretion of excess of H plus and reabsorption of most of the bicarbonate. So here once the kidney starts to action, then this ratio HCO3 minus to carbonic acid, it comes to normal as kidney will excrete the H plus, so acid is excreted out, so bicarbonate which are buffered, they are again comes in the circulation as a bicarbonate component and new reabsorption of the bicarbonate. So this bicarbonate is increased along with H2CO3 is decreased, so there is a ratio comes to the normal, and still level of bicarbonate is less than their normal and H2CO3 level is less than their normal and ratio is 20, and but pH here becomes normal as there is a this decrease in the both the level, but ratio is at a 20. So at a 20 ratio of bicarbonate to carbonic acid, the pH is normal level. Here the same example is given in the which is given in your book in the as a metabolic acidosis. What happened in the normal blood picture? Normal ratio of bicarbonate, this buffer component, bicarbonate to carbonic acid is 20 h to 1, means bicarbonate is 20 times than the carbonic acid. Normal level of bicarbonate is as a average it is 24 millimole per liter and carbonic acid is 1.2 millimole per liter, so it ratio becomes 20 h to 1 and at this ratio pH is 7.4. So what happen in acidosis? So as there is a acidosis occurs, H plus increase in the blood, so bicarbonate as a first buffer, there is a first defense mechanism, they will utilize as bicarbonate will bind with H plus and form the buffer compound H plus bicarbonate. So H plus is neutralized by bicarbonate buffer, and what happen? So there is a bicarbonate level is start to decrease because more of H plus is secreted and they are buffered by bicarbonate, but here H2CO3 is normal because there is a no respiratory regulation started. So this type of the blood picture in red colored, that is pH acidosis, pH is less and bicarbonate is less, but H2CO3 is normal. So if the numerator is less and this is the normal, so what happened to normal ratio? Obviously it is less than 20, and this type of the blood picture is known as the uncompensated metabolic acidosis. Now, as there is a compensation start is the primary defect in the metabolic component, then compensation first occurs in the respiratory. So what the lung will do, it will hyperventilate and it will excrete more carbon dioxide because primary abnormality in the numerator, so and it is in the decreased level, so this denominator should also decrease, and it is decreased by this H2CO3 is dissociated into water and carbon dioxide by which enzyme? Carbonic anhydrase. So these carbon dioxide they will excreted out by the lung through the expiration. So here H2CO3 is also start to decrease. Here bicarbonate is more amount is decreased to and here bicarbonate start to decrease. So still here pH is less, bicarbonate is less, and carbonic acid is also less, but still here the ratio is not 20:1, it is still less than 20 because bicarbonate is only just start to decrease, sorry, carbonic acid is just start to decrease. So when there is a final compensation start, so this is a partially compensated acidosis picture. This is the bicarbonate is decrease, pH is decrease, and H2CO3, that is the PCO2 level is start to decrease. So all the three levels are decreased in the partially compensated acidosis. As a third line of defense mechanism by kidney, there is a excess of H plus is excreted out and reabsorption of the bicarbonate that occurs in the primary convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule. So once there is a this excretion of H plus, that is acid component, and reabsorption of bicarbonate, that is the numerator, so there both level are still decreased, but their ratio will comes to the 20:1, and at that ratio pH is 7.4. So here as a this type of the picture, it is known as a fully compensated metabolic acidosis, that is pH is normal, the ratio is 20, but their level is still low, bicarbonate is low and carbonic acid is low. Now you have question here that why this bicarbonate and carbonic acid is still decrease, and so what happened to how it can be comes to the normal. So in metabolic acidosis you have to find the cause, and once you treat the cause which has leads to the acidosis, then and then this ratio that this level bicarbonate and carbonic acid is to the normal. That all we will discuss in under metabolic acidosis. So here it is the stages of the compensation. As in the metabolic acidosis we have seen that what are the mainly three levels: pH, bicarbonate and PaCO2 and their ratio. What happen in metabolic acidosis in uncompensated state? There is a pH is decreased, bicarbonate is low because as it is acidosis pH is less, and metabolic, so the primary bicarbonate is used up. So there is a low level of pH and bicarbonate, but here PCO2 is level is normal, so ratio of bicarbonate and PCO2 is less than 20. As a partially compensation is the primary disturbance in the bicarbonate, there is a change in counteracting variable, that is the PCO2, that is the carbonic acid. So as it is low, PCO2 start to decrease, but still here it is start to decrease, ratio is less than 20. So it is known as partially compensated. So this picture you will see in the partially compensated metabolic acidosis. Once fully compensated metabolic acidosis, the PCO2 level is decreased at such level, and that will leads to the bicarbonate to PCO2 ratio is as a 20. So here as a 20 ratio, pH is normal, that is 7.4, but bicarbonate and PCO2 level is low, and their level is regains to normal only once you correct the actual cause, that is the disorders or any other cause that leads to the metabolic acidosis. So this picture you will see in the fully compensated metabolic acidosis. Same like that, different types of the compensation in different disorder, metabolic alkalosis, respiratory acidosis and alkalosis, you can see. As in metabolic alkalosis, uncompensated, what happen? Alkalosis pH is obviously high, and it is a metabolic, so there is a excess of the base, so bicarbonate is increase as a primary disturbance, so pH is high, and PCO2 level is normal here because it is uncompensated, so here the ratio is greater than 20. In partially compensated, as there is a primary disturbance in the bicarbonate is high, so PCO2 level is again becomes high to compensate the condition, to maintain the ratio towards 20. Still here pH is high, it is unaltered because there is a no fully compensation, so high in the bicarbonate and high in the PaCO2 level, still the ratio is greater than 20. Once the renal mechanism comes into action, fully compensation occurs. There is a high level of bicarbonate and high level of PCO2, so their ratio becomes 20, and their pH becomes normal. So in compensation, body tries to restore the bicarbonate to carbonic acid at a 20 to 1, but still this high level comes to normal by treating the actual cause of metabolic alkalosis. Same like in respiratory acidosis and respiratory alkalosis, you can see in the respiratory acidosis uncompensation, as it is a acidosis, pH is low, as it is a respiratory, so primary disturbance in the respiratory component, that is the H2CO3 or PaCO2. As it is a acidosis, this is the acid component, it should be increased. So low level pH, PaCO2 is high, and normal bicarbonate, that is a pH ratio becomes this ratio bicarbonate to PaCO2 is less than 20. In partially compensation, pH is still low, but as this is the counteracting variable bicarbonate, their level is also going to high to maintain the ratio 20, but still here pH is low, so there is a no fully compensation, their both level start to increase and ratio is less than 20. Once the renal compensation started, their HCO3 level is high and carbonic acid level is high up to a level when there is a ratio comes to the normal, that is 20, so pH becomes normal. So this is a respiratory acidosis. Same occurs in the respiratory alkalosis, uncompensated high pH, normal bicarbonate, primary disturbance in the PaCO2, that is acid component, as it is alkalosis, so acid component is decreased, so high pH, low PaCO2, bicarbonate is normal, so ratio is 20, now greater than 20, sorry. Partially compensated, this compensation occurs in the bicarbonate level start to decrease, again ratio is 20, greater than 20, but pH is, so pH is high. Fully compensation by renal occurs, then pH is normal, bicarbonate is also low, and PaCO2 is also low, but their ratio are 20, and this low level comes to the normal only by treating the actual cause of respiratory alkalosis. So in compensation, body tries to restore the bicarbonate carbonic acid concentration ratio to 20 to 1. In your book, level of compensation has been given, that is up to which level compensation occurs, means up to which level counteracting variable is decrease or increase respected to original deformity. So in metabolic acidosis, we know that the primary disturbance in the low level of bicarbonate, so PaCO2 should also reduce. So how much level of PaCO2 is reduced? So expected PaCO2 is reduced by 1 millimeter of mercury for every 1 millimole of per liter drop in the bicarbonate. So how much bicarbonate is decreased? Same PaCO2 is also decreased. In metabolic alkalosis, as it is a increase in the base, PaCO2 should be increased. Here PaCO2 increased by only 0.6 millimeter of mercury or only 1 millimeter mole per liter of rise in bicarbonate. So the level of compensation is different according to the different types of the metabolic or alcohol or respiratory acid base disturbance. Acute respiratory acidosis, only 1 millimole per liter increase in the bicarbonate per 10 millimeter mercury of rise in PaCO2. So their level is change depends on the different types of the acid base disorder. You can read this, or if you not remember at this level, it's okay. So types of the acid base disorders are mainly four: metabolic acidosis, that is primary pH decrease, acidosis pH is decreased, primary change deficit of the bicarbonate. So as there is a numerator is decrease, the ratio is less than 20, and secondary change decrease in the PaCO2 is started, we have already seen. Metabolic alkalosis, increase in the pH, excess of the bicarbonate. So here as the numerator is more, or so there is a ratio is greater than 20, and secondary change or second defense mechanism, increase in the PaCO2 is started. Then respiratory acidosis, decrease in the pH, primary change only in the carbonic acid. So excess of the carbonic acid, so the as the numerator denominator is increased, so ratio is less than 20, and increase in the bicarbonate start as a secondary change. Always the secondary change in the same direction to the primary disturbance. Excess carbonic acid, so excess bicarbonate. Respiratory alkalosis, increase in the pH, deficit of the carbonic acid, greater than 20 ratio, because there is a denominator is less. So as a same secondary change occurs as a decrease in the bicarbonate to maintain the ratio 20. So that occurs, we have seen the classification of the acid base disorders and how compensation occurs. Let's start about metabolic acidosis. Metabolic acidosis, what is the main cause of the metabolic acidosis? Acidosis either occurs due to loss of alkali from the body or increase in the acid production. There are the two types of the metabolic acidosis based on the anion gap level. If you remember in the last lecture, we have seen about the anion gap. So in always in metabolic acidosis, anion gap is measured. That will helps to assess which type of the metabolic acidosis occurs. There are the two types of the metabolic acidosis. One is high anion gap metabolic acidosis, and second is normal anion gap metabolic acidosis. So let's revise about anion gap, which we have seen in the last lecture. Actually, in the laboratory, we are normally measuring two cation, that is sodium and potassium, and two anion, that is chloride and bicarbonate. Normally in the body, sum of total cation and total anion in extracellular fluid is always equal to maintain the electrical neutrality. Normally we measured two cation in the laboratory, sodium and potassium, and two anion, chloride and bicarbonate. From this sodium and potassium, from the total cation, the sodium and potassium constitutes only 95% of total cation, and this chloride and bicarbonate, they constitute only 86% of total anion. So you can see there is some difference is there, 95% and 86%. So obviously if we take a difference of measured cation and measured anion, that is measured cation sodium and potassium subtracted by sodium measured anion chloride and bicarbonate, obviously they constitute, sodium and potassium constitute greater than the chloride and bicarbonate of total cation and anion of the body. There is a some difference should be there. Actually, this difference occurs why? Because what we are measuring, so cation and anion, the low level of anion is we are measuring as compared to the measuring cations. So there is a unmeasured anions, they will leads to, because about 14% of anion which we are not measuring and only 5% cation which we are not measuring. So more anions as compared to the cations we are not measuring. So these unmeasured anions, they will leads to the gap between this sodium potassium and chloride bicarbonate. So this gap is known as anion gap. The gap is due to unmeasured anion. Unmeasured anion like protein anion, because in the pH at 7.4 normal pH, we can say that the protein they will take amino acid, they will take more OH minus and they have a negative charge, so they are anions. So unmeasured anions are the protein anions. Sulfate we have not measured, phosphate, other organic acids. So these all they are unmeasured anion, and as they will leads to the anion gap, because we are not measuring these. Anion gap, how it is calculated? It is calculated by sum of cation, measured cation, sodium and potassium, that constitute only 95% of total cation, and it is subtracted by bicarbonate and chloride sum, that is only constitute 86% of total anion. So there is a always there should be some gap, as their level is high and their level is low. So normal value about, in your book it is given as 12 plus or minus 2 millimole per liter, that is 10 to 14 millimole per liter. Some book also referring as their range is 8 to 16 millimole per liter. So you can write both of these, either 8 to 16 or 10 to 14. Let's comes to difference, basic difference between the two types of the metabolic acidosis. That is, one is high anion gap metabolic acidosis, second is normal anion gap metabolic acidosis. So high anion gap metabolic acidosis, they will leads to increase in the anion gap, and normal anion gap metabolic acidosis, they will leads to normal anion gap. So this anion gap metabolic acidosis, it is also known as normochloremic acidosis. Here the chloride level remains normal, but in normal anion gap metabolic acidosis, chloride level is increased. So you can remember by opposite condition. In high anion gap, what is chloride level? It is normal, but in normal anion gap metabolic acidosis, chloride level is increased. It is actually increased to compensate the loss of bicarbonate. How mechanism? In high anion gap metabolic acidosis, there is a mainly organic acids are increased in the blood, and those conditions which can leads to increase in organic acid in the blood, they will leads to the high anion gap metabolic acidosis. How? What mechanism occurs? So once there is a organic acid are increased in the blood, so bicarbonate will come as a first line of defense, and they will take the H plus to buffer these acids. So this bicarbonate level is decreased because they have buffered the H plus. But whatever anion is synthesized from this organic acid, we will see example in the lactic acidosis, whatever anion is produced, so they will leads to the increase anion from by after buffering of this acid component from this organic acid, this organic anion level is increased, and which produced from buffer action. So as their anion level is increased and bicarbonate level is decreased, so we are not measuring this on this produced anion. So obviously this uh, measured anion will be reduced, because bicarbonate is reduced and other anion is increased. So obviously meta and same at a same time sodium and potassium are unchanged. So Sodium potassium is unchanged, but bicarbonate level is decreased. Sodium potassium is unchanged, but this bicarbonate level is decreased. Along with chloride level is normal, but here to compensate this decreased bicarbonate level, which anion is produced? Those anion which are produced by buffering of action of bicarbonate with the organic acid. So organic anion is produced. So this chloride level remains normal, but organic anion level is increased. So and organic anion we are not measuring. So obviously this anion gap becomes increase because of this decrease in the bicarbonate, and there is no change in the chloride. But this decrease in the bicarbonate is compensated by increase in the organic anion, that is synthesized from this organic acid buffering by bicarbonate. So anion gap is increased. Which are the main causes of high anion gap metabolic acidosis? That is renal failure, diabetic ketoacidosis, and lactic acidosis. These are the main causes. The complete list we are seeing afterwards. What happen in normal anion gap metabolic acidosis? Here there is a loss of bicarbonate occurs from the body, and there is a no net generation or reabsorption of the bicarbonate, because here there is a from the kidney there is a generation and reabsorption of the bicarbonate not occurs, but bicarbonate is lost out from the body. So bicarbonate level is decreased. Again there is a no sodium or potassium excrete or reabsorb, means there is a no change in the sodium and potassium level. And as the bicarbonate level are lost from the body will try to retain more chloride to maintain the electrical neutrality. Here there is no organic anion is increased, because this type of the acidosis only occurs due to inorganic compound. So in compensation chloride ion are increased, so anion gap remains unaltered. Here as the bicarbonate is decreased, but organic anion is not produced here. This because in normal anion gap acidosis only inorganic acids leads to this condition. So chloride level is increased to maintain the electrical neutrality to compensate lost bicarbonate. So as this sum is unaltered, anion gap is unaltered. So anion gap is unaltered. So main causes are diarrhea and renal tubular acidosis. So clear about this difference, high anion gap and normal anion gap metabolic acidosis. Again this is a graphical presentation of high anion gap and normal anion gap metabolic acidosis. This is the normal level, normal at pH. Normal sodium about 140, normal potassium is a 5. So normal chloride is around 105, bicarbonate is 25, and normal anion gap is as a 15 is given here. This is known as a Gamble gram. So this is a normal condition. What happen in the high anion gap metabolic acid? This red color shows anion gap. Here you can see there is a high anion gap. Anion gap is more. Here you can see potassium and sodium are unaltered as a same as a normal condition. Here as the organic acid is increased, bicarbonate is used up, so bicarbonate level is decreased. At the same time whatever the H plus is buffered from the organic acid by the bicarbonate, what is remaining now? Anion, organic anion is remaining. So this organic anion compound they will increase. So negative ion is same like to the bicarbonate, that is organic anion. So there is a no need to maintain electrical neutrality. Electrical neutrality is maintained by organic anion, and as we are not measuring organic anion and bicarbonate level is decreased, so anion gap is increased because sodium and potassium are also unaltered. So it is also known as normochloremic acidosis, because here you can see chloride level is not, it is also unaltered. What happen in the normal anion gap metabolic acidosis? So as it is normal anion gap, which level is increased? Chloride is increased, so it is also known as hyperchloremic acidosis. Here also potassium and sodium are unaltered, and anion gap is normal. You can see through the normal anion gap is unchanged. Here bicarbonate level is utilized to buffer the acids, but as there is a no organic anion is generated to compensate the low negative charge, the chloride ion is increased as they are retained in more level inside the blood from the CSF or from the urine. So there is a increase in the chloride to compensate the bicarbonate, and anion gap is unaltered, so this is known as a hyperchloremic acidosis. Now we discuss in detail high anion gap and normal anion gap metabolic acidosis. What is high anion gap metabolic acidosis? When it occurs when there is a accumulation of the acid anions or cations are decreased, like hypokalemia, hypocalcemia and hypomagnesemia. They will lead to high anion gap metabolic acidosis. Hypoalbuminemia, that is decrease in the negatively charged protein. So as it is decreased, so different compounds is increase. Hyper gamma globulinemia, when there is a increase in the positively charged compound. So in hypoalbuminemia and gamma globulinemia also there is a anion gap is change. It not actually hypoalbuminemia and hyperglobulinemia leads to high anion gap. There leads to change in the anion gap depends on the different abnormality. Now, which are the causes of high anion gap metabolic acidosis? Main three causes: renal failure, ketosis and lactic acidosis. What happened in renal failure? In renal failure, some of the organic anions like phosphoric acid, sulfuric acids, as there is a renal failure, phosphorus cannot be excreted as a acid phosphate. So they will remain inside the blood in the more. So their negatively charge is becomes more, and organic anions sulfuric which we are not measuring, so their level is increase. Simultaneously decrease ammonium ion formation, as there is a decrease H plus is excreted by the kidney due to renal failure. Decrease sodium hydrogen exchange, that leads to the decreased acid excretion. So here unmeasured organic anion is increased, so HCO3 level is also decreased at the same time, and sodium and potassium level is unchanged, so anion gap is increased. Ketosis, other organic acid like acetoacetic acid, beta hydroxybutyric acids they are increased, and they will buffered by the bicarbonate, so they will produce anions of the this compound keto compound. As we are not measuring, they are leads to the high anion gap. Lactic acidosis, same like lactate ion is accumulates when the rate of the production is increased as rate of the consumption. Salicylic acid, when aspirin poisoning, it can also lead to the high anion gap metabolic acid. Certain amino acid urea, due to accumulation, due to block in the normal metabolic pathway. Certain organic acids like methyl aciduria, malonic aciduria, propionic aciduria. Methanol poisoning, because methanol is metabolized to the formic acid. Formic acid, glycolic acid, oxalic acid, they will leads to the increase anion gap, because they all leads to the organic anion production, and we are not measuring organic anion, and bicarbonate level is used up. So HCO3 and Cl minus will be decreased, and unaltered sodium potassium, so anion gap is increased. Certain drugs like corticosteroids, dimercaprol, furosemide, nitrates, salicylates, thiazides, these are the cause of the high anion gap metabolic acidosis. You must know these three: renal failure, ketosis and lactic acidosis or organic acidosis. Now we will see one basic difference. Lactic acidosis can lead to the raised anion gap, which we have seen in this list. Lactic acidosis leads to increased anion gap, but diarrhea causes the normal anion gap acidosis. How? We will see. So lactic acidosis, what happen in the lactic acidosis? Lactic acid increase in the blood. Once it is increased in the blood, as it is acid, first defense mechanism bicarbonate buffer, they will come into action, and this lactic acid is buffered by bicarbonate. So acid component H plus is taken up by bicarbonate and forms, it will base is present in the form of sodium bicarbonate. So sodium is bind with the lactic acid lactate, and H plus is buffered by the bicarbonate. So sodium lactate is produced, and as it is a H2CO3 synthesized, carbonic acid is synthesized, H plus and bicarbonate. So carbonic acid is dissociated into the water and carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is removed by the lung ventilation. So what happened here actually? Once it will results, if suppose 5 millimole per liter lactic acid is produced, so 5 millimole bicarbonate is used up to buffer this 5 millimole of lactic acid. So how many bicarbonate level is decreased? 5 millimole. And how many sodium lactate is produced? Same, 5 millimole per liter sodium lactate is produced from the lactic acids. So presence of 5 millimole of unmeasured anion, that is sodium lactate, which no changes in sodium or chloride. Here chloride is not changed because as bicarbonate is a negatively charged, anion is decreased, but same at the same time unmeasured anion, that is lactate, is also decreased, so electrical neutrality is maintained. So here anion gap is increased because bicarbonate is decreased, which we are measuring, but we are not measuring lactate level. So lactic acidosis, in lactic acidosis, normal that anion gap, it becomes altered and anion gap is increased. So lactic acidosis cause a raised in the anion gap, but diarrhea cause the normal anion gap. How? What happened in the diarrhea? Diarrhea results in the loss of the bicarbonate through the stool. So as there is a negatively charged ion is excreted through the stool, here body will try to reabsorb the sodium chloride more and more from the kidney tubules to maintain the extracellular volume, or to maintain the extracellular volume level also, and also to maintain the electrical neutrality. So here there is a result in the increased sodium chloride level. This chloride compensates for fall in the bicarbonate level. So here, as there is a chloride is increased, which we are measuring, so there is a anion gap is unaltered. Same condition, chloride level is increased, so it is known as a hyperchloremic non-anion gap metabolic acidosis. Here there is a no organic anion is produced due to there is a no organic acid production. Which are the other causes of normal anion gap metabolic acidosis? Like renal tubular acidosis, acetazolamide therapy, that is a drug inhibits the carbonic anhydrase enzyme. Then ureteric transplantation and certain drugs. What happen in renal tubular acidosis? Renal fails to excrete the acid and reabsorb the bicarbonate. So chloride level is increased in the blood to maintain the electrical neutrality, because bicarbonate is not reabsorbed and H plus is not excrete. So whatever bicarbonate is present, they are utilized to neutralize these acids. So to maintain electrical neutrality, chloride is retained. Acetazolamide therapy, bicarbonate generation and H plus secretion is effected, which we have seen in the renal regulatory mechanism. Ureteric transplantation, chloride ions are reabsorbed in exchange for bicarbonate ions which are lost out, because ureteric transplantation is leave into the colon, then there is a bicarbonate cannot be reabsorbed, so it leads to the hyperchloremic acidosis. Certain drugs like magnesium containing antacids, chloropropamide, iodide, lithium, they all lead to the normal anion gap acidosis. This is also known as inorganic acidosis. Now same like anion gap, that is a plasma anion gap, urine anion gap is also measured. What is urine anion gap? Urine anion gap, that is sum of urine sodium and urine potassium, which is subtracted by urine chloride level, and bicarbonate level is very minimal or nothing bicarbonate is excreted into the urine. most of the bicarbonate is reabsorbed through the primary convoluted and distal convoluted tubules. So how this urine anion gap is useful? It is useful to estimate the ammonium excretion. We have seen in the fourth mechanism of renal uh, regulation of acid base balance, that is glutaminase glutaminase enzyme is secreted to produce the ammonia. This ammonia will bind with H plus and forms the ammonium ion. This ammonium ion is excreted out inside the urine. So this ammonium cannot excreted as such. It will bind with certain anion because ammonium is a cation. So it will bind with either chloride, or either it is bind with the sulfate, either or phosphate. So as it is bind with the chloride level is decrease. Inorganic chloride level is decrease, or total chloride level is inorganic chloride is decreased, but total chloride level is increased because ammonium is excreted in the form of ammonium chloride. Normal value is less than -20 to -50 because urine contains more chloride than the potassium and the sodium. So their normal value is -20 to -50 millimole per liter. In metabolic acidosis, in renal compensation, NH4 plus ammonium chloride excretion is increased. So urine anion gap becomes more negative because more chloride is excreted through the ammonium chloride. But in renal tubular acidosis, these tubules cannot work normally. So ammonia excretion is defective and urine anion gap has positive value because ammonium cannot produce because there is a defection in the renal tubular system. So this urine anion gap helps to differentiate between normal metabolic acidosis with the renal tubular acidosis. In normal metabolic acidosis, as a renal compensation, ammonium is excreted through the ammonium chloride. So this chloride level is increased, so their level is more negative. But in renal tubular acidosis, this is the same level or decrease. So the urine anion gap is a positive value. Now comes to compensation in the metabolic acidosis. How there is a compensation occurs? So is a primary deformity in the metabolic component. In compensation, respiratory compensatory mechanism is the first. So as there is a acidosis, H plus is more, HCO3 is less. So denominator H2CO3 tries to decrease, that is decreased by hyperventilation. So there is a increased rate and depth of the respiration, that is known as a Kussmaul's respiration, to eliminate the more carbon dioxide, which leads to the hypocapnia. So this PaCO2 falls to attempt to restore the ratio towards the 20. But here still the pH is low, so it is a partially compensated metabolic acidosis. What happen in the renal compensation? As there is acid is increased and bicarbonate is decreased, so renal will try to increase excretion of H plus as a ammonium ion also, and it will increase bicarbonate reabsorption. So this reabsorption of the bicarbonate helps to restore the ratio of bicarbonate to carbonic acid at a 20. So pH comes to normal. Comes to the treatment of the metabolic acidosis. Look, any treatment of any type of the acid base disorder, it main aims to treat the underlying cause, because we have seen that without treating the underlying cause we cannot maintain the normal level of bicarbonate and normal level of carbonic acid. Their ratio becomes normal without treating the underlying cause by defense mechanism of body, by renal, respiratory and buffer system. But once we treat the actual cause of the disorder, then and then level of HCO3 and H2CO3 comes to normal. So as an example, if the metabolic acidosis is due to ketoacidosis, we have to give the as a treatment intravenous fluids, insulin is given and potassium replacement is given. Lactic acidosis, it may occur in the oxygen deficiency, oxygen may be given. And as there is a bicarbonate level is low in metabolic acidosis, Sometimes bicarbonate is also infused through the intravenous vein. And potassium abnormalities should be carefully treated. Why? Because acidosis is always associated with the hyperkalemia and alkalosis is always associated with hypokalemia. Why? Because in the acidosis H plus level is more in the extracellular fluid. So as H plus is more and intracellular potassium ion is more and H plus is decreased. So there is a redistribution of the H plus and potassium occurs. So H plus, which is more in the acidosis in the extracellular fluid, this H plus will replace with the potassium ions in the inside the cell. So H plus potassium ion is more comes out from the cell into the plasma, and H plus goes inside the cell from the plasma. So there is an increased level of potassium. So always acidosis is associated with the hyperkalemia, but alkalosis with the hypokalemia. In alkalosis decrease in the H plus, so body tries to take the H plus from the cell, and as H plus comes out from the cell into the plasma, potassium will goes from the plasma into the cell. So there is a hypokalemia. The intracellular potassium comes out in exchange for H plus moving into the cell. Hence, in acidosis, once we are treating the acidosis, we have to take the care. If we are suddenly treat the acidosis, this hyperkalemia also may lead to level H plus of potassium level in the blood will also decrease, and it may lead to the sudden hypokalemia and patient may die. So always remember that when you are treating any acid based disorder, simultaneously you have to also watch on the potassium level in the blood, because it may lead to sudden hypokalemia or hyperkalemia depending on the primary acid based disorder while treating the condition. So we have to also check the level of potassium, simultaneously we have to treat the actual condition. So that's all about today's lecture. Now see about 2 to 3 MCQ tasks. One is metabolic acidosis is primarily due to increase in carbonic acid, decrease in carbonic acid, decrease in bicarbonate, or increase in bicarbonate. Answer is C. Primary defect in the decrease in the metabolic component, that is decrease in bicarbonate. In partially compensated metabolic acidosis, here actually in the metabolic acidosis, following happens in the plasma. Bicarbonate carbonic acid ratio is increase, total CO2 constant content is decrease, this bicarbonate carbonic acid ratio is decrease, or none of above. As in the metabolic acidosis, HCO3 level is decrease, so as a compensation H2CO3 is also decrease, so their ratio is actually decrease, not increase. So answer is C. Then third is a metabolic acidosis is associated with all of the following except increased elimination of the acid in the urine, increased formation of ammonia, increased respiration, and diminished formation of ammonia. As there is an increased acid, body will try to increase acid excretion. So first is right. Increase in formation of ammonia, yes, there is an increase in the formation of the ammonia to excrete H plus as ammonium ion. Increase respiration, yes, to increase excrete CO2 level, there is an increased rate and depth of the respiration that leads to the cosmol's respiration, but this not occurs. Diminished formation of ammonia is the answer, because except is the question. So diminished formation of ammonia. So any question you can ask me through the WhatsApp. Thank you very much for your attention.